What's up, guys? Today I wanted to showcase a deck in twos that me and my buddy McCreeper have been having a ton of fun with lately. Now this deck may not be perfected yet, and I'm not saying it's a top tier deck by any means, but we do win a majority of our games, and its playstyle is more fun than most other deck combinations that I've done in twos. You can see on screen we're both running red golems, and I'm running a combination of Gax and Blood Imps. Essentially we want to take ourselves to half health as quickly as possible, and then we start cycling out the huge red golems once they're activated. There's a ton of different combinations that are really nice in this deck. You can put black holes or guardians down to keep ideal targets from taking damage from Gax. You can put a guardian near your hero alongside with the new healing shrine to make sure that you can sustain a lot of face damage for quite a while. And there's actually so many combinations that let's just jump into a few games and hopefully I'll be able to showcase the synergies in action. So we're actually going to start this game by putting Gax down by itself. This is going to prevent our enemy players from actually spending most of their mana, and it's also going to give us the bridge for free early on. You can see I'm debating putting the second one to grab the top bridge, but put out a Puff, and we got Puff Vengeance going on. So we're going to put our second Gax down here on the bottom lane. It's going to do the same thing, kind of prevent them from playing minions for a while. You can see McCreeper was floating mana for a little bit. Kind of sucks, but he was still able to spend some mana, get a minion out that is actually immune to the World Explosion, and both of our opponents were actually floating mana that entire time as well. You can see we have a really good presence on board. We have both of the bridges, we already have our first trait, and right now we're just going to try to sustain the face damage that we have with the cleaver. We'll black hole the minions that we're going to kill it. We're going to get an additional, I believe, 600 damage in here, because he's going to be able to get 2 extra strikes from there. And yeah, now we're going to be able to develop a really strong push on top with the Guardian, and I believe this is going to be one of the quicker games. You can definitely see how things start spiraling out of control. You don't need to rely heavily on the red golems in this deck, but they do certainly help. So we have a Gax out here, we also have a Guardian, so you can see here how this is going to work. It is going to unfortunately kill the Guardian, but we get rid of the other 2 minions, and excuse me, the Guardian's actually going to live that, but he's going to sustain a ton of damage from that. And it's going to wipe out all the flying minions for us and allow us to get a little bit more time to put out minions to deal with everything else. So basically everything in this deck outside of the Plasma Marines has more than 150 health attached to it, and that's so you can see like what happened with our Succubus. They can sustain the World Explosion and still be fine. There's actually a really nice synergy with the Musketeers as well, because the Musketeers parry the World Explosion, which means if you can time them properly, you can use that parry right when they're on the opposing hero, so they'll parry and then get triple additional damage in on the opposing hero, even though they're not being attacked by anything outside of Gax. It's a really nice synergy. And then you can of course always use the Musketeer as we're using him top lane, just to take down a cleaver by himself, no big deal. Now here is one of the great synergies of the deck. You can put down a Guardian followed by a Healing Shrine. Guardian is going to protect both the heroes and the Healing Shrine while getting that amazing amount of health from the Healing Shrine, and it's going to prevent a ton of damage from happening to our base. Unfortunately, we're not going to get at quite half health yet, but it is able to stop that push almost completely just with those 2 synergies, so it's a really great combination regardless. Now we're going to use Gax top lane just to clear up all their minions as well as the cleaver. Unfortunately, we are going to wipe up our own Tombstone, which kind of sucks, but that's something that gets better the more that you play with the other person and the more you practice the deck. Unfortunately, this is a little bit riskier of a deck to play. Again, I don't believe it's fully top tier just yet, but the synergies that you can get out of here definitely exist, and they're definitely amazing. So we're going to have those Blood Imps now bottom lane. We are so close to being at half health now. We're going to try to trickle any type of damage we can. You can see we're at 2,050 damage right now, or 2,050 health, my apologies. So we're really looking at any way that we can take 50 damage right now without it being too much. We want to live right on the edge, but not like right on the brink of disaster at the same time. So their Enraged Annihilator is definitely doing more than enough damage to us right now. So we're going to try to stun him, use Succubus for some damage, and now you can see we have the biggest, baddest blood golems that you can get, especially now that when they get at half health, they're all going to be frenzied since we already have that second trait. So we'll have one going bottom lane, McCreeper's going to put one up top lane right there, and now both of the lanes are going to be pushed back tremendously. Both of our traits are going to be synergizing perfectly with these golems. We got the tombstones to get back a 9 mana cost activated giant for free, and then also, since they have twice as much health as a normal blue golem does, they're going to be able to be at a normal blue golem's health while still being frenzied by Ravager's second trait. And look how much DPS they do top lane right now. That's a level 7 arcane giant that just got destroyed by our blood golem, or red golem. I'm sorry, I gotta warn you in advance. I'm gonna be calling the red golems blood golems a lot of the time, because when they're at half health, I'm assuming they're losing blood. But you can see that's gonna be the first game. I still got plenty of games to show you guys, so let's jump into the next one, and hopefully I can highlight some different synergies that are possible with this combination. Alright, so right in the second game, I can tell that this is going to be a slow game because we're going against a King Puff and a Mordor, so I'm going to try to take us to half health as quickly as possible before they can start snowballing on us. So I'm going to put out the combination of Blood Imps and Gax to, boom, instantly take us down a good amount of our health. Unfortunately, that Spiritmancer is going to live, but it's fine. He's not going to be able to receive the Spirit Infusion buffs. Our Prowler's going to deal with them too quickly. Now, I'm going to be looking for any opportunity to play Gax that I can, so I'm just holding on to it till I see that STINT come out. And also, I'm going to get additional value not only from that healing puff, but look, they played Blood Imps against it. I love it. So it's going to take care of the Blood Imps, all the different stuff, the wall, and get a huge damage into the Succubus. So we're basically forcing them to play a healing puff, or a healing fireball at the same time. So we essentially played about 5 mana to get 9 mana worth of value there. Now they're going to be trying to buff and heal the Succubus as most as they can, so we're starting to realize that that's their win condition. So we're gonna unfortunately lose that cleaver, but we're gonna wait for the Succubus to get a little bit more on our side before we fully deal with it, because if it just keeps jumping back over there, we're never gonna fully kill this thing. So out goes the Ghost Hurt in combination with the Guardian to ensure that it does not jump back, and we're gonna be able to fully deal with the Succubus now, and we can also develop a little bit of a push with the Plasma Marines and the Guardian. So this is threatening their Drone Force 1. Unfortunately, it's not going to kill it outright here, but we do have a lot of ways to trickle in damage. I'm looking at Gax right now, just a lot of low health targets. It's going to get a ton of value here. Watch here. I know a lot of people judge me on my love for Gax, but look how much value Gax gets here, right? Not only is it going to be doing damage to those Plasma Marines, it's going to kill that Drone Force 1, it's going to kill the Stylexia, it's going to kill a lot of things that are low health, and also get a good chunk of damage in to the opposing hero. We still don't have our win condition ready to go yet, so I'm going to put out those Blood Imps, trying to get us a little bit lower in combination with that Gax, which, boom, that's going to take us right on the edge, so now we can start activating these red golems. So I got bottom lane, the Creeper's got top lane, don't take that out of context, but we're going to be able to start pushing back these really, really, really destructive forces on either. Now you can see this is just adorable that they played a Demon Warrior on bottom lane thinking that was going to do anything, or that they held on to it for long enough to make it so that they're this far into this game and they're finally playing one. But it confirms my suspicions that, yeah, they're going to be playing a slower style game. Fortunately enough, though, we were able to get those red golems out before they were able to deal with it. So you can see they're just going to be doing a ton of damage. Anything that they're playing right now just cannot handle it. And watch how much damage they do when they get to the base. Just boom, boom, boom. They're done. Alright, let's get into the last and final game that I got to show for you guys. So at the start of this game, I can tell once again we're going against another King Puff, another Mordor, and I know they're going to be playing a slower styled strat, so we're going to try to get ourselves to half health as quickly as possible. How do we do that? We're going to play Gax in combination of Blood Imps. Not only is it great for getting us low, but we're also going to be able to take both bridges in the process. Now unfortunately, we really don't have too much to deal with that living statue in our opening hand, so the best we can do is just play high DPS minions with the Succubus and the Prowler, and try to keep them alive as much as possible. So we're going to stun the only DPS that they have on it, which is that Spiritmancer, and then we're going to Black Hole it to ensure that the Prowler and the Succubus are still going to be at good enough health to not only deal with the living statue, but also get a little bit of a push afterwards. So we're even going to put down a healing shrine just to ensure that we're still going to get a full push after we deal with that living statue. Now we are still playing slow opponents, so I'm going to try to get us to our win condition faster than they ramp up to theirs by putting up our Gax as well as our Blood Imps, and they're going to be stupid enough to watch this fireball our Gax that was going to kill itself anyways. I don't know why they did that, but you know, it's going to give us that 4 mana advantage that they really didn't need to sacrifice. But we're still not quite at 2,000 health yet, so we're going to put out another Gax. Not only is it going to explode and do a ton of damage to everything that they have on board, but it's also going to get revived, so that means the next time it goes off, boom, we're going to be in the best health zone possible, and we can start putting out the red golems. I think McCreeper got a little bit excited about his one right there, and got it out right before that 50 damage came in. But now we got the combination of one activated red golem and a second red golem next to it that still does a decent amount of damage. A good thing to note here is actually if you revive a non-activated red golem and then you put out a tombstone and that red golem gets revived by that tombstone, if in that time period you get at half health, when it comes back through that tombstone, it will be activated. So say like you're at 2,200 health, whatever, and then you put out a blood golem, boom, it's not activated, but while it's still out, you get below that, you get to 2,000 health exactly. The next time that red golem dies and gets resurrected by the tombstone, it's actually going to be at double health, just as if you activated it normally. And then you can see here for bottom lane, we're going to be doing whatever we can just to ensure that that living statue doesn't make it to our face. So we're putting out a ghost shrine just to kind of make it move in a different direction and group it up so everything else can get the rest of the damage in. They're going to try to beam a doom our activated red golem, but unfortunate for them, it's got so much health that it doesn't die to one beam of doom. We're going to put out Gax to deal additional damage to everything else on board, and also, every time it blows up, it also damages the other opponent, so we're able to trickle in damage with that, while also getting a ton of damage to everything else here. You can actually see, hold on, right? Watch this finishing right here. So, the red golem is going to finish, get a lot of damage in, it's going to get stunned, but Gax is going to get us enough damage on the opposing hero. Definitely something to keep in track of anytime you're playing this deck. Alright, but that's all the games I really wanted to show. Hopefully you guys got an understanding of how that deck works and maybe you're excited enough to try it out yourself. Either way, best of luck to you, and, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube crap, whatever. I'll see you guys next video. Bye.